enough to make it back to the Bay of Thunder. I think I made up my mind. The circumstances grim, but the future could be bright. I'm slowly drowning. At least I'm not sinking outright. I think I made up my mind. The circumstances grim, but the future could be bright. I'm slowly drowning. At least I'm not sinking outright. This note's all that's left of me. Chasing dreams that were never meant to be. Now I've resigned to misery, knowing I'm not coming home again to the Bay of Fundy. I think I made up my mind. The circumstances grim, but the future could be bright. I'm slowly drowning. At least I'm not sinking outright. I think I made up my mind. The circumstances grim, but the future could be bright. I'm slowly drowning. At least I'm not sinking outright. I think I made up my mind.
Hello, 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 hello. Welcome back to another stream. I hope you're having a wonderful Wednesday. Almost forgot what day it was for a second there. We're gonna hop into some Ace Attorney, but I am still trying to find the perfect angle. It's like comfy, but it also gets my voice well, and it's also not completely obstructing my face. I think this will do. Yeah, I think that'll do. All right, let's get into this game, shall we? Let's boot up some Ace Attorney because we got a lot of ground to cover. All right, let's do this. Anyway, I love that song. January 8th, 9:46 a.m. District Court, defendant lobby number 1. Good morning, Mr. Wright. Good morning, Maggie. So, what do you think is going to happen today, sir? Yesterday's session didn't go so well and ended on a giant mystery. That's true. And we still haven't solved a single part of it yet. Are you okay, Nick? Huh? Oh, yeah, of course. I saw that. That little flash of doubt in your eyes. Here comes the first ad break of the day, then we'll be free for our first hour. Appreciate y'all. I'll see you in a few minutes. Oh, shit, my captions. I'm fucking up. Good bot. No, that wasn't doubt. That was, determination. Why don't I believe you? It's nearly time, Maggie. You'd better get going to the defendant's seat. Roger, don't let me down, Mr. Wright. I'm counting on you. We'll do our best. Hey, hey, Detective Gumshoe. Quit stressing Maggie out. She doesn't need that. How did you know she was stressed?
I was watching through the doorway.
Oh,
You look like you lost the case already. Show a bit of confidence, will you, pal? Here, maybe this'll help.
huh? Have you taken up aromatherapy too?
Not in a million years, pal. Don't tell me that yous don't remember this thing.
Oh, I remember it all right. I was wondering when this would show up. Come to think of it, that doesn't look like one of those aromatherapy bottles.
This is the small bottle that turned up in Trey Bien's kitchen a couple days ago.
Wow, look at all these little bottles. Oh, they're aromatherapy oils. He's got so many, they're overflowing onto the floor. Hey, wait a minute. There's one bottle that's different from all the others. Well, what do you know? And it doesn't have a label either. And doesn't smell.
We finally got the analysis results back from the lab.
So, what is it? Is it the poison?
I'm afraid not, pal. It's, medication.
The or the ear medication. Medication?
Yeah, for ears. Topical use only, apparently.
For ears? You mean?
Yeah, it's the medication Glenn Elg was using for his ruptured eardrum.
What was Glenn Elg's ear medicine doing in the kitchen? Great question. What about the unidentified fingerprints? Anything on that?
Someone screwed up, so they only had time to analyze the contents of the bottle. Another hour and they might have gotten something on the prints, but...
That's gonna weaken its impact as a piece of evidence.
Okay, pal, this is it. Make sure your defense is impregnable today. Got it?
Today's trial. I'm gonna expose that guy for what he's done. Or my name isn't Phoenix Wright. We'll see. January 8th, 10 a.m., District Court, Courtroom number 4. Welcome back. You survived the first ad break of the day.
Court is now in session for the trial of Maggie Bird.
The defense is ready, Your Honor. Ready and waiting as always, Your Honor.
Very good. Then we'll get underway at once. Yesterday, we heard the testimony of Mr. Victor Kudo. He claims to have witnessed the defendant putting a powder into the victim's coffee. However, the witness's testimony was plagued with a number of problems.
The mark on the rim of the cup shows that the victim drank from it with his right hand. But according to the old man's testimony, he picked it up with his left hand.
Thank you, Mr. Godot. Furthermore, according to the witness's accounts, the victim was listening to the radio with an earpiece in his left ear. Yet the victim's left eardrum was ruptured, which made him effectively deaf in that ear.
It's amazing how many contradictions a single case can have, huh, Nick? Allow me to enlighten you, Your Honor. The world you see keeps turning, and we must turn with it.
You've lost me already, Mr. Godot.
Don't let the mysteries of yesterday mystify you today. Only losers think like that. You've got to change with the times. That's one of my rules.
Are you implying that you've resolved these contradictions?
You know
the answers to these riddles.
the old guy wasn't just throwing seed in here. He was throwing us off the scent. And today, I'll prove it.
Very well. Let the first witness take the stand.
Oh, of course. And you are? Oh, bonjour, everyone. I am Jean Armstrong, the owner and chef of La Très Bien Restaurant Enchanté.
Forgive me for asking, witness, but are you a woman?
Oh la la, monsieur. As you can see, I am le père and perky gentleman, no? On the day of the incident, you were in Trebian kitchen. Isn't that right? Who is you, monsieur? Oh, everything feels right. Needed a cup of coffee to gain repose. Wow, he's totally unfazed. Doesn't anything intimidate this guy? I don't think so.
Very well. Your testimony, please, witness. Please tell the court what happened that day at Trebian.
Oui, volontiers. At Trebian. When it all happened, there was just 2 customers in my restaurant. I remember I was experimenting with some new art deco that day. Like having a large mirror between la tables, for example. Oui, perhaps that is what the man was looking at. La cup, la earpiece, and la glasses, he would have seen everything in reverse, no? Mirror? Oui, un grand mirror. La most enormous mirror. Bro gotta work on his posture. That back gonna be hurting in a couple years. For real. Especially with that gut. Arching in like that. He gonna regret that. Even if he looks kawaii doing it. And suddenly, the mystery disappears. Like I said, the world keeps turning, so roll with it.
That would explain the coffee cup and the earpiece conundrum. A mirror would have made everything appear back to front.
What the heck? It's way too early in the morning for this to be happening to me.
Now then, Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination.
We got this. At très bien. When it all happened, there were just two customers in my restaurant. Oh, whoops, I got it. That's right. I swear, I always go on autopilot and just start reading that shit. And who were the customers exactly? Mais of course, the young man who died, and the other, not so young man.
You are referring to yesterday's witness, I presume.
What about the other man Maggie says she saw at the table? Something tells me Mr. Armstrong isn't planning to disclose his existence. We need some hard evidence first before we can bring him up, don't we? I guess I'll just have to try a different approach for the time being. I remember I was experimenting with some new art decor at the time. You were experimenting with art deco? How come I never heard about that before today? You are not familiar with the language of interior design, monsieur? Please stay on topic. Now, why didn't you tell the court about this before? Oh, but I did, just a few moments ago.
Excuse me, Mr. Armstrong. This deco you mentioned, are you referring to some sort of decoction?
No. Art deco. It's a style of design, Your Honor. He's talking about interior design. Walls, ceilings, carpets, that kind of thing.
Ah, yes, of course. That deco.
I was trying to achieve a more effeminate look for my restaurant. I was planning the most bold remodeling of the decor. Like having a large mirror between the tables, for example. How big of a mirror are we talking about here? Both. Something about 4 meters wide and oui, about 2 meters high. Let's see. If 1 meter is about 1 yard, Holy glass in a frame, that's huge. I was intending to install it on the ceiling eventually. The ceiling? Was there a mirror on the ceiling? I don't remember. Mais non, but I decided not to go through with it in the end. What should I do? Should I ask him more about the mirror or not? I mean, what could it hurt, right? Let's press harder. If you really had such a large mirror in the restaurant, someone would have noticed it. But there's nothing about a mirror in Mr. Kudo or Maggie Bird's testimony. But...
Objection!
You didn't ask, Trite. You have only yourself to blame for such sloppy work. What? A mirror was delivered to Trebien the day before the incident. Really? As Armstrong testified, he was carrying out some design changes. And as it turned out, he didn't actually use the mirror in the end. This just doesn't add up. Even if a mirror was delivered to Trebien, it doesn't prove that it was in the restaurant on the day of the crime. Ah. If you want to doubt someone, Trite, look in the mirror. I'm sure the person looking back at you will be dubious enough.
So the witness yesterday had seen the victim reflected in a mirror.
Oui, perhaps that is what the loud man was looking at. Hold it! Normally, I'd expect people to know the difference between a reflection and a real object.
Objection!
Normally? How does normality come into this? That's lame, Trite, even for you. Huh? Are you trying to say that if something isn't normal, it isn't possible? Isn't that it? Where does that leave the... Where does that leave the porky-headed lawyer and the top-knot chick over there? And the ungodly cool guy with the mask over here? Well, Trite... Ah! Not the hair! I do not have a top knot!
Mr. Godot is correct. A lack of normality is no basis for discounting an argument.
Bien, logique as one la day. La cup, la earpiece, et la glasses. It would have seen everything in reverse, no? Hold it! Everything? You would have seen everything in reverse? Oui? Hey, Nick, you should take a second, think about what old CD said in his testimony. How did he phrase it again?
The boy was wearing the earpiece on the same side as the green lens of his specs. No question. You can lock me up if I'm wrong. It was his left ear, without a doubt. And then he used the same hand to pick up the cup. His left hand.
If he saw everything he described reflected in a mirror, then everything he said he saw on the left was actually on the right, huh? And that clears up all the problems with his testimony. I guess. Or does it? Ah. It's kinda hard to believe everything's the fault of a mirror, but... Do you think old CD saw everything through a reflection? If he did, it would explain all the contradictions in his testimony. But that just makes the situation worse for Maggie. There's gotta be something in that old man's testimony. We've just gotta dig deeper. Okay, so it's time to present some evidence, I assume. Let's see here. HMD is over his left eye. That we seem to know for sure.
Objection!
The coffee cup, the earpiece, and the HMD? Let's think back over Mr. Kudo's testimony for a second, shall we?
The boy was wearing the earpiece on the same side as the green lens of his specs.
Right.
No question, you can lock me up if I'm wrong. It was his left ear without a doubt.
We got him. So to summarize, we were told both the HMD and the earpiece were on the victim's left side. Now, if Mr. Kudo saw all that as a reflection in the mirror, it means both the HMD and the earpiece were actually on the victim's right side. Exactement. You see, monsieur, now that you think about it, it is not so hard, no? Unfortunately, that's where we run into a monumental contradiction with the facts. If Mr. Kudo really did see everything in a mirror, why is it that the HMD is now on the wrong side of his head?
Order, order. Mr. Wright is correct. If the witness genuinely observed the victim reflected in a mirror, then we would expect the victim's eyepiece to have been over his right eye.
Objection! How bitter. Trite, you should have a taste of this bitterness. It'll calm you down in no time. Are we talking about your coffee or something completely different? Damn. If you don't understand the way the witness thinks.
How he thinks?
You remember this, I presume? The I broke the vase, sorry, apology? I mean, Mr. Kudo's sworn testimony? Exactly. The old man has one other very grievous habit, other than throwing seeds. The more of an impression something makes, the more muddled his mind makes it. And what's the most striking thing about Mr. L?
Clearly, it's the victim's eyepiece.
And that's my point. The old man strikes again. Mr. Elg's HMD made a big impression on the old man.
I saw the earpiece and those newfangled spectacles he was wearing. Oh yes, they were both on his left ear. Do you hear? His left ear.
Well, Trite. That's the worst, but best impression of Kudo ever. Wow, I really thought he was old Seedy for a minute there. Kudo's good.
Enough. I must agree that yesterday's witness was irresponsibly rash in much of his testimony.
Bad luck, Nick. Looks like the boil of a contradiction you found is just a rash. A mirror can't be beaten by a handful of seeds, nor can it lie. So, what exactly was the old man looking at? Fill us in, Mr. Armstrong. Go on. Tell the court. We're all ears. Oui, I can explain. Please, if you will look at the plans of the restaurant. The mirror. Hello, is everyone sitting comfortably? The mirror, it was in the middle of the restaurant, dividing the two halves. There is only one seat from which you could have seen an image of the victim. That was the seat at the table next to the victims. That was where the old man was sitting. After the terrible incident, I moved the mirror so it was not in the way. But naturally, I did not touch anything else.
I see no problems with the explanation we have just heard. From the table next to the victims, Mr. Kudo could have seen the victim in the mirror.
What a naughty little coquette I am, confusing all the men like this. Don't worry about it. We can keep up, except for the guy breaking out in a cold sweat over there again. Ah, I hate that guy.
You said you didn't touch anything else apart from the mirror. Are you quite sure about that?
Volunteer, of course.
Very well, Mr. Wright. Your cross-examination, if you please.
The mirror. La mirror, it was in the middle of the restaurant, dividing the house. So, run this by me again. The mirror was here, correct? Oui? Oui? Really? Because I know if I were you, I wouldn't have put a mirror there. It would be in the way.
Objection!
Look who's talking, trite. Huh? You're obstructing my view, among other things. But, this is my seat in the courtroom. Très bien's charm is that it gives you the impression that you're the only customer. Temporarily placing a mirror in that spot would hardly be in the way. Unlike you, trite. I tell you, monsieur, la mirror was there in the middle of the restaurant. There is only one seat from which you could have seen an image of la victim. And where would that be? Oh la la, look how you lean towards me. I always attract the younger boys. Maybe I should keep you in suspense a little longer.
Mr. Armstrong, tell the court what you know at once.
I attract the older ones too, you know, handsome. Shall I tease you too?
Huh?
I love this. This is so funny. Oh my god. I'm already seeing a very hot someone, so I'm afraid you'll be waiting for a long time. What a Chad. I bet she has mocha cream skin and cappuccino perfume. Bien, I will tell you, there was only one seat from which you could have seen. That was... I'm sorry, this is just too funny. That was la seat at the table next to la victim. That was where the old man was sitting. So, why can you only see the victim from that particular seat? Mais monsieur, it's obvious, no? If you look at the plans, we will understand. The victim would have been reflected in the mirror like so. If you were sitting at the table next to him, you would have seen everything, no? So that's the seat old Seedy was sitting in on that day, when the poisoning happened. The old man was sitting at the table next to the victim. Why does that seem kind of odd? After the terrible incident occurred, I moved the mirror so it was not in the way. Hold it! Did you move the mirror while Mr. Cadeau was off calling the police? Oui, exactement. I carried it out of the restaurant then. You moved a huge mirror like that all by yourself? What can I say? I know how to pick things up, handsome. Godot actually laughed at something.
Well, given the witness's physique, I suppose it's possible.
Yeah, they got them cannons.
Did you move anything else from the crime scene, Mr. Armstrong?
I look like the obliging type, no? But naturally, I did not touch anything else. Hold it! Are you sure about that? I touched nothing except la mirror.
Mr. Wright, is there something the witness has said that doesn't match the crime scene?
Yeah, there is. I just can't put my finger on exactly what. The ticket, right? Yeah. Suffering from a case of heartburn, trite. Oh, I have just this thing for that. I know with golden myrrh and frankincense. Add a few drops to your coffee, and voila, enjoy. Focus, Phoenix. Breathe. I just need to ignore those two and find some evidence. It is pretty strange, though, isn't it? I mean, nobody mentioned anything about a really large mirror. You'd think someone would have, but Maggie didn't, and neither did old Seedy. Then the only logical explanation is that there was no mirror inside Très Bien that day. Now I've just got to prove it. Somehow. Okay. Let's see here. Excusez-moi. Let me see here. Where's the lottery ticket? I'm gonna search Maggie, though. That doesn't help me. Maybe this? A little more indirect. Let me save. And then oop. Obviously the fishy statement is you didn't touch it. Oh wait, this was found. Yeah, this has definitely got to be it, right?
Objection!
Fuck. Okay, that was not it. Let's try this then.
Objection!
Shit, really? Okay, I'll just take the hit on this one. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. Let's see here. Hey, Tony! Welcome, welcome. They give you a small hint at the end there. Gotta prove the mirror wasn't there somehow. Yeah, so I'm thinking about this all wrong then. I was thinking of trying to prove it didn't touch anything, but... Alright, let's... Okay, so what proves that the mirror wasn't there? Okay, let's see here. So we know it's not this or this, and these don't really have anything to do with this, so we can write those off. Maybe the floor plan? I can't really think of anything else that might prove it. I'm gonna try.
Objection!
God damn. What could it be? Let's see. Maybe the crime scene photo? Yeah, that's gotta be the only other... The photo didn't feel as strong, because they said they moved it, so I felt like they'd just be like, ah, well, we moved it, obviously it's not in the photo, but let's try it.
Objection!
Really? Maybe the wrong... Maybe I presented it to the wrong spot. Let's see. There's only one seat you could have seen an image of the victim. Let's see. Maybe this statement? Let's try.
Objection!
Hey, there we go. I think we got it now. I think we just needed to change up the statement. This piece of evidence contradicts with the testimony we've heard, Your Honor. Hey, appreciate it. Stay hydrated, folks. Cheers, Tony. This piece of evidence contradicts with the testimony we've heard, Your Honor.
The crime photo.
Yes, this photo clearly shows something that theoretically should not exist.
What on earth do you mean by that, Mr. Wright?
Should not exist. Sounds like you're describing yourself, Trite. God damn. Such a hater.
Now then, if the defense would please clarify its statement. What is something that should not exist in this photo?
Suffering from success. We got it right, but now what? Oh, the vase, right? Because he knocked over his vase.
Take that!
Shit, that was the wrong answer. I think it's pretty obvious that this is what should not be in the picture.
The vase? What possible connection does that have with the witness's testimony?
Your Honor, I'm telling you that there should have been no vase on this table. Because it very clearly contradicts with this piece of evidence. Aha! We did. Okay, I was right. Okay.
Take that!
I thought I was wrong there for a sec because the music didn't cut out. There's one thing that was clearly demonstrated by yesterday's testimony. Mr. Cadeau broke the vase that was on the table where he was sitting. And yet, as the court can see, there is an unbroken vase on the table next to the victim. Why? Because Mr. Cadeau was not in fact sitting at the table next to the victim at all.
Objection!
Yeah. Don't be an idiot, Trite. That's impossible. That seat's the only one Cadeau could have seen the victim's reflection from. Exactly. There's only one conclusion we can draw from this contradiction. There was no mirror in Trebienne that day. Your testimony, Mr. Armstrong, is an elaborate lie. Mon Dieu!
Objection!
Tabernacle! Don't try to confuse the court, Trite. Obviously, the witness cleaned up the vase, while the police were taking their time getting to the crime scene.
Objection!
Unfortunately, Mr. Godot, that doesn't quite work for me. Mr. Armstrong already testified to the contrary. In his own words, I did not touch anything else except the mirror. I love how he started chugging the coffee as like a power-up whenever he's frustrated.
Well, witness, what do you have to say for yourself?
I was right. There was no mirror in the restaurant that day.
In light of this revelation, we return back to the original problem. Why did the victim have an earpiece in an ear which he couldn't hear?
Ha! You only get one shot in life. There's no turning back. If you want to claim that mirror wasn't there, Trite, then this problem is all yours. How do you explain what the old man saw? If I can answer this, then I'll be that much closer to the truth. I can feel it. Are you gonna be okay? Can you really solve this contradiction, Nick? There's more than just this one contradiction, Maya. What do you mean? Remember what Maggie told us. There was another man at the victim's table. And There was a sample CD on the victim's table. It all flies in the face of Mr. Kudo's testimony. And I think I know the reason why nothing in this case is adding up.
Well, Mr. Wright, let's hear your answer.
Yes, Your Honor. The reason behind all the contradictions in Mr. Kudo's testimony is simple. Mr. Kudo made a mistake. No. The ear doctor made a mistake. What? That doesn't even make sense. I mean, obviously it has to be this then. Oh, that's too funny. This case is riddled with contradictions. Yet, there is one very simple answer that clears them all up.
And what is that?
The incident Mr. Kudo witnessed and the incident the victim experienced were two completely different events. What? Yes, the victim that Mr. Kudo saw wasn't Mr. Glenn Elg at all. It was an imposter, a phony pretending to be Glenn Elg. Interesting. Obviously, unlike the victim, there was nothing wrong with the imposter's left eardrum. I guess. That's how he ended up wearing the earpiece in his left ear by mistake. Interesting.
Order in the court. Settle down or I'll clear the court.
Quiet, Gramps. Why don't you clear out of here, huh?
What did you say?
Trite. Are you saying that what Mr. Kudo saw was a setup? Yes. Someone pretended to be Glenn Elg and acted out the whole coffee poisoning. All for the express purpose of creating a witness out of one Mr. Victor Kudo.
Objection!
Get real, Trite. Why would anyone want to do that? Isn't it obvious? The thing Mr. Kudo was most insistent about in his testimony was...
The serving girl brought him a Javachino, but she put something in it. That's the serving girl, right there in the defendant's chair. I remember her well. It's so hard to believe, but...
There was one, and only one reason to show Mr. Kudo this fake poison. To show Maggie Bird in the act of poisoning the coffee.
Objection!
Are you insinuating that the waitress is the old man and the old man's story was a fake as well? It's true that there were no other customers in the restaurant at the time, but it's also true that the chef there was there. He would have noticed what was happening.
That's right. Well, witness, if your restaurant really was the scene of such theatrics, you would have known about it, correct?
Oh la la! This is most difficult for me.
Objection!
No, it's quite simple. All you have to do is testify. You are under oath after all. Was there, in fact, a phony at Trebien that day? The defense demands that Mr. Armstrong tell the whole truth about what happened.
The defense's request for additional testimony is accepted. You will accurately explain in detail the events in the restaurant that day.
Oui. In the restaurant. La victim, Monsieur Elg, he came to my restaurant alone. I remember the old man arrived not long after him. There were no other customers. When he got word he was a lottery, Monel became very excited. It was approximately 5 minutes later that the poisoning incident occurred. No, there was no time for a phony to do the acting.
Just so we're clear, there was no mirror in the restaurant after.
Je vous demande pardon. Forgive me, Your Honor. I lied because I wanted this mess to be cleared up quickly.
What you have just done is commit perjury, Mr. Armstrong. I will decide how to punish you later.
Damn, they gotta bring the fake Phoenix here. It's gotta happen, right? Like, it feels inevitable at this point. That's gonna be a riot. I can't wait to see the judge's reaction, especially. It's just, it's a shame Payne isn't here to witness his folly. Ooh-wee.
For now, we will hear your cross-examination. Mr. Wright, if you please.
He took that perjury charge a bit too well. But I'm guessing he'll be in more serious trouble after this cross-examination. Let's do this. Hold it! Was he alone at his table as well? Mais oui, I saw him from la kitchen. Yet the defendant, Miss Bird, remembers it differently. She swears there was another man at the victim's table.
Objection!
Ha. Unfortunately for you, Trite, yesterday's witness also testified that the victim was alone. You know, seeing you squirm like that reminds me of a certain coffee's bittersweet bites. What kind of coffee has he been drinking? It's not coffee, it's love. It's love that's bittersweet. Hearing Maya say that makes her seem wise all of a sudden. I remember the old man arrived not long after him. Hold it! By old man, you mean Victor Couteau, correct? Oui, he comes often for my special coffee. I drank your coffee once, Mr. Armstrong. It's special, I'll give you that. It's worth a sip just for the experience. Oh, you make me so happy, monsieur. You're most welcome anytime. I said it was worth one sip, and nothing more. So old Mr. Couteau arrived at the restaurant around the same time as the victim. Maybe I should ask about his arrival in more detail. Let's see. How many minutes after? What time was it? Let's see the time. I feel like that's more important. Out of curiosity, about what time was it when Mr. Couteau arrived? Oh no, I cannot remember, monsieur.
I believe we were told by a witness yesterday. The crime was reported at 2:25 by a kind of scary old man, sir. Does that perhaps jog your memory, witness?
The incident happened about 20 minutes after he arrived. So, the victim must have arrived between 2 p.m. and 2:10, no? Just after 2, huh? Thank you for your help in jogging my memory, monsieur. You are wonderful.
I can't sit here all the time and do nothing now, can I? The time of day will be added to the witness's testimony.
Oui, monsieur judge. Everything I do it for you.
Merci bien. That's French, isn't it?
It was a good enough attempt. I'm glad at least one person is in a good mood. He's even humming a song to himself. I remember the old man arrived not long after him, just after 2 p.m. Are you absolutely sure about the time? When I think really hard, I am sure it is just after 2. Oui. It is the time I stop serving la lunch menu.
Quite right. I always break for lunch when the restaurants are serving their specials. I've been known to wind up a case early just to make it on time.
The time's got to be a contradiction, right? It's got to be. It's got to be. I'm not sure how yet. I'm going to look at our evidence once we finish the cross-examination, or at least like going through the statements. But I feel like that's definitely got to be the money. I guess you should never get between a hungry judge and his lunch.
Oh, would you look at that? It's almost lunchtime already.
Witness, get on with your testimony, please. There were no other customers. Hold it! So your only customers were Mr. Kudo and the victim?
Objection!
How many times do you need to ask the same thing, trite? You'd never catch me drinking the same blend twice. Huh? You're trying to establish the presence of a phony victim in the restaurants, but you're wasting your time. You can't grind birdseed to make coffee, if you catch my drift. But there's a hole in his testimony somewhere. I'm sure of it. Just realized I'm drinking coffee right now, and then I see Godot. It was fate. What goes better with a trial than a little bit of coffee? Godot would be proud. When he got word he won the lottery, Monel became very excited. Did you see him? No, I was in the kitchen, but I heard him. I remember him shouting, "Yes, $500,000. Presumably, the defendant heard that too then, correct? Maggie? She looked like a poor little frightened dove. And what about Mr. Kudo? The old man choked on some birdseed that got stuck in his throat.
It seems we now have yet another incident on our hands.
It was approximately 5 minutes later that the poisoning incident occurred. And what were you doing at that point? Without any customers, you must have had time to kill. I am a multi-talented woman, monsieur. Sorry, what do you mean? There is le renowned chef Jean Armstrong and le tragic poet Clarice Armstrong.
Clarice!
Oui, I was writing a poem, an angry tale of a chef in $500,000 of debt, looking for a man who won $500,000 on a lottery. It is called Pourquoi? It means why. Perhaps I could recite it for the court. Please don't. No, there was no time for a phony to do the acting. You mean you contacted the police as soon as the incident occurred? I asked the old man to call from la payphone. By your own argument, trite. The purpose of this phony victim's performance was so the old man would see it. In other words, once the incident occurred, this opportunity would completely disappear.
Indeed.
Bien, it seems the shadow of doubt has been lifted, n'est-ce pas? I guess Mr. Armstrong is connected to this case, huh? Absolutely. Someone was impersonating Mr. L, and I refuse to believe he was oblivious. He was there the whole time, after all. But if you're right, wouldn't Maggie have noticed too? She fell unconscious when the incident occurred, remember? Ah! You mean that's when the phony staged his act? We'll know for sure once I find a hole in this testimony. Okay, let's see here. Just after 2. There it is. It would have been between 1:30 and 2 p.m., so that's not a contradiction there. Oh, but the radio show happens at 1:30.
Objection!
I should have saved. Nope, we're good. I'm afraid I finally got you, Mr. Armstrong. What? What do you mean? At the time in question, the victim was listening to the radio with his earpiece. He was there the whole time, after all. But if you're right, wouldn't Maggie have noticed too? She fell unconscious when the incident occurred, remember? Ah! You mean that's when the phony staged his act? We'll know for sure once I find a hole in this testimony. Okay, let's see here. The show he was listening to was Millionaire Radio. Each week, they announced the winning numbers of the $500,000 lottery ticket. Oui, that must be la show mon elk was listening to.
I can't see any problem with this testimony, Mr. Wright.
I wonder. Excuse me? You say the victim arrived at your restaurant after 2 p.m., correct? Oui, oui, I am sure of it. I remember it perfectly now. I know it was that time because I had just finished serving la lunch menu. Get to the point, trite, if you have one. That show is broadcast live at 1:30 p.m., and it claims to be the most thrilling 10 minutes of your life.
It's on the air at 1:30?
Now, supposedly the victim made some noise when it was announced that he had won. And yet, I don't believe his cry of joy could have occurred after 2 p.m. Because the show had already finished more than 30 minutes earlier by that point in time. No! This victim we've been told about has done nothing but the impossible. Listening to the radio with a ruptured eardrum, catching a show that was already over. There's only one conclusion you can draw from these facts. This victim was an imposter acting out the poisoning 30 minutes after the real murder. Yes, there were 2 Glen Elgs in Trebienne that day. The real Glen Elg, now dead, having been poisoned by the real killer, and the phony Glen Elg acting out the events for Mr. Cadeau to witness.
It certainly seems that way. I mean, if that wasn't the case, how could you explain the time discrepancy?
Objection!
Quite a performance, trite. You were almost on a roll. But sadly, you lack the rock-hard foundation of rhythm to build your song. What is this? Music Theory 101? Let's recap. According to your imaginative theory, it's now just after 2 p.m. The phony elk is performing a play for the benefit of Mr. Cadeau. How do you explain then where the real Glen Elg is? I don't believe I have to spell this out for the court. However, at that time, the real Glen Elg was already dead.
That's certainly the obvious conclusion.
Objection!
Thank you, trite. That's exactly what I was hoping you would say. What? Now, I presume you can prove this theory of yours? Can you explain where the missing corpse went to? The missing corpse? According to the old man's testimony, there was only one other customer there. If that customer was the phony Glen Elg, then where did the killer hide the body of the real victim? Nar! Nar. That's a funny one.
The prosecution has a valid point, Mr. Wright. If your theory is to stand up to the examination of the court, you must provide us with proof by answering the prosecution's question. Where did the killer hide the body?
Yes, Your Honor. No conjecture, trite. Let's hear some facts for once. Show the court a piece of evidence that proves where the body was hidden. Oh boy. Evidence? What's with the intense pressure in here all of a sudden? I thought I had him with that contradiction. But he's turned it all around and backed me into a corner instead.
Well, Mr. Wright, the court will now hear the defense's theory and evidence. First, where was the body of the real Mr. Elg concealed?
Oh, damn, that's a great question. Inside Caribbean or outside Caribbean? I feel like inside is just seems more reasonable. So do I I have any evidence that points that way? I mean, I'm gonna have to, right? So what is it? Let's see. Photo of the scene taken from near the kitchen. I don't really know, honestly. Because we're gonna have to prove it. I don't really have evidence either way. I'm gonna say inside. It would have been too dangerous to take the body outside. Obviously, the body must have been hidden somewhere inside Trevian.
Interesting. But where could a body have been hidden inside a restaurant? Perhaps you would care to show the court on these plans, Mr. Wright.
Yes, Your Honor. Okay. The exact location where the body was concealed is... He's sitting here and he's We found his article thing here. So maybe he was hidden here? And that's how that paper got there behind this? I don't know if that'll make sense, but that's the only thing I have any like sort of real basis to have a hunch on.
Take that!
The body was hidden here.
I see.
Nice supposition. But the real question is, can you back it up? Where's the evidence that proves the body was hidden in that location? Yeah, see, because I knew I was going to need evidence. This is the only kind of evidence I had, so let's go with that.
Take that!
Fuck. Too bad. I don't think you'll ever really grasp the heart of rock and roll. What are you talking about?
He means that your evidence is irrelevant, Mr. Wright.
Come on, Nick, you've got to think it through. Feel the beat and then hit him with some heavy metal. Okay, I need to calm down and get my facts straight. What should I do now? Okay, so it has something to do with the CD. But I don't remember where I found the CD. Oh, right, we found it at What's-His-Face's place. So then it must have been outside, right? Outside Très Bien. Clearly there's no place to hide a body inside Très Bien. Therefore, the killer must have hauled the body outside.
I see.
Nice supposition. But the real question is, can you back it up? Where's the evidence that proves the body was taken out of the restaurant? And then this is mostly based on the heavy metal clues. Like, is it
Take that!
Fuck, what? Oh. What evidence do I have? It's not this. Here comes the ads. I'll see you in a few minutes. Hang tight, y'all. Appreciate you. let's go back with the trivia. Okay. I don't know why I didn't process this, but kitchen might be a good spot.
Take that!
The body was hidden here.
I see.
Nice supposition. But the real question is, can you back it up? Where's the evidence that proves the body was hidden in that location? That might work.
Take that!
Mr. Armstrong, do you recognize this bottle? No. I have never seen that ugly bottle before in my life. I only use the very best bottles, monsieur. The highest quality only for me.
Where was this bottle found, Mr. Wright?
Interestingly enough, Your Honor, it was found in the kitchen of Très quoi? But I only ever use these bottles for my aromatherapy oils. But this bottle doesn't contain aromatherapy oil, Mr. Armstrong. No, it contains a medication.
What kind of medication?
I'm sure everyone remembers, don't they? That Mr. Elk visited an otolaryngological clinic and was given medication that day. You can't be serious. The defense had the contents of the bottle analyzed, and I have the lab results here. The contents of the bottle match the prescription that was given to Mr. Elk. Glenn Elk's murderer hid the body in the restaurant kitchen, at which time this bottle fell out of the victim's pockets. Mr. Armstrong, when the incident occurred, didn't you say you were in the kitchen? Mon Dieu! Yes, you know what I'm about to say. It was you who hid the victim's body. You did a fine job pretending to defend my client, Maggie Bird, however. You were setting her up to take the fall behind the poor girl's back. No!
Order! Order! This is an extraordinary development. Witness, did you murder Mr. Glenn Elk?
Never! I could not do such an horrible thing! No! Oh.
Mr. Godot.
I totally thought that was Jean. The bitterness. Every time I get lied to, I always down a mug of coffee. That's one of my rules. Do you have do you have the slightest idea how many cups you've had by now? Then I like to do the same to the person who lied to me. I like to take them down with my empty cup. Listen up, chef. How about a brand new flavor in your ear? My H-deficient friend. H-deficient. Je vous demande pardon. Please, you must hear me out. It is a trap. Listen to me, por favor. Yeah, I was like, wait a second. He switched language.
Yo hablo español, Mr. Armstrong. And por favor is Spanish.
I'm only gonna ask you once. Did you do it? No, absolutely no. Let's hear it. You've got one shot, right, Gramps?
Witness, the court will permit you the chance to make one final statement. If you lie under oath again, Mr. Godot's coffee mug awaits you. As does my gavel.
Oui, it is clear. What do they always say in these movies? I've got a bad feeling about this.
Very well. Begin your final testimony, Mr. Armstrong.
The confession.
It is true, I ate la body in the kitchen. A man forced me to do it. I had no choice. I had to go along with him because there was a reason why I could not refuse. But I did not kill him. I swear it, you must believe me.
You were forced? By who?
I cannot say, or I will be erased.
Let's try a different question then. When Mr. Elk died, was he really the only person at his table?
There was... There was another man.
I knew it! Maggie was telling the truth.
You may cross-examine the witness now, Mr. Wright.
There's just one more thing I need to do. I gotta break this guy and tell him to tell us the name of the real killer. All right.
It is true, I ate la body in the kitchen.
Did you carry the body by yourself?
Oui, I carried him and I carried Maggie too.
Maggie too?
When she saw the victim collapse, she fainted. I could not leave her there.
But why did you hide the bodies?
A man forced me to do it. I had no choice. I had to go along with him because there was a reason why I could not refuse.
Hold it! What man? Who was he?
No, I cannot say. I fear for my own life.
He's really scared. You'll just have to put the words in his mouth, Nick. Yeah, you're right. If he won't tell me, I'll tell him.
But why would you go along with this man?
I had to go along with him because there was a reason I could not refuse.
And what reason would that be, Mr. Armstrong?
You know, monsieur?
Yes?
Surely you can not expect such a young maiden to talk about such an embarrassment.
A maiden? You're a bit old to get away with that.
And a bit too male.
You can't finish the cross-examination without establishing his reason. So I'll just have to prove it with evidence.
But I did not kill him. I swear it, you must believe me.
So, you are claiming that all you did was hide the bodies? Is that correct?
Oui, that's right.
If we are to believe you, Mr. Armstrong, you must tell the court everything. You must make clear the identity of the man who ordered you to do this.
He's already confessed this much. He might as well stop dancing around the real issue. Yeah, but he really doesn't want to tell us who the killer is.
Then sock it to him, Nick.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Okay, well, we do know his reason. So let's start there.
Objection!
You have a $500,000 debt, don't you?
$500,000? Is this true, Mr. Armstrong?
Oui, je suis désolé. I was a weak and I borrowed la money.
This is Mr. Armstrong's Achilles heel. And that's why you couldn't refuse anything he asked of. And that's why you couldn't refuse anything asked of you by this man.
Take that!
Bada bing! A $500,000 loan from a black market loan shark. And you had no way of paying it back, did you? That's why you were forced to do anything. This man told you.
Oui, it is as you say.
Mr. Armstrong,
Le tiger, he told me he was going to use my restaurant for a business rendezvous. On the day in question, he was meeting la victim to demand that he repay his loan. I don't know why it happened like that. I just did what he told me to do. I had no choice. I carry the body and the inconscient Maggie out of the dining area and do the kitchen. After that, I just tried to forget what I had seen.
I think we can now safely say that the man who forced your hand was Mr. Furio Tigre.
I do have one further question for you, Mr. Armstrong. Poison in the lottery ticket that were found in the defendant's apron pocket. Was that your doing as well?
No, I knew nothing about that. Making it look like it was Maggie who had done it, I was not. It is despicable.
Mr. Godot, you will summon this Furio Tigre as a witness. I doubt that can be arranged today, so we will adjourn for now. Proceedings will continue tomorrow.
"30 minutes.
What?
The trial will go on. I'll see to it myself. I need half an hour to get that guy on the stand. Not a minute more. How the? Don't sit back and relax yet, trites. No one knows if that chef is really telling the truth or not. This trial could still go either way.
Very well. Your request is granted, Mr. Godot. We will resume once Mr. Tigre is ready to take the stand. Until then, court is adjourned for a 30-minute recess.
Damn, we had a good time on that one too. Absolutely. It's time to knock this out the park. January 8th, 1:21 p.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby Number 1. So we're finally gonna see the tiger on the stand. We've almost got this case won now, Nick. I wish I could agree. Huh? When I cross-examined Mr. Armstrong just now, he said he was just doing what the tiger told him to do. But Godot picked up on it, remember? He pointed out that without proof, we don't know if what he testified is the truth. You mean, you think Mr. Armstrong was lying? I don't know. But if that's the line the prosecution takes, we could be in trouble. Ethernet cable underneath the rug. Not letting me move. Anyway, I get the feeling that we don't have the case-making evidence we're gonna need. Hey, pal. Detective Gumshoe. What are you so jumpy about, Detective? Your hair's standing on end.
Hey, that's the pot calling the kettle black, little Miss Top Knot.
It's not a top knot. Never mind about their hair. Just calm down, all right?
I can't stand still when I don't have a job to do. I get kind of wound up.
No kidding.
You gotta have something you needs me to do, pal. Anything.
Well,
Hey, I'm gonna take a jog back down to the precinct.
Hey, Kev, you missed the first part of this trial. We just finished doing the cross-examination of John Armstrong, and now we're getting ready to have Le Tigre take the stand. Phony Phoenix is about to make his appearance in court once again.
Hey, I'm gonna take a jog back down to the precinct.
Okay, so I got in just in time for the good part. Hell yeah, hell yeah.
I could get some prints analyzed for you if you got an hour.
An hour? The trial will have reconvened by then. But, Nick, we still don't have a really decisive piece of evidence, right? True. Without some kind of trump card to pull out of the bag, we're really stuck. You said you could get some fingerprint analysis done in an hour?
You bet.
In that case, would you mind checking the prints on this for me? Oh God. Oh God. This feels like a big choice right at the top. I feel like it's gotta be this, right? Is he gonna... Oh man, what if I give him the wrong thing? Am I gonna be like, fucked? Gotta be in the green bottle IMO? Oh, the medicine bottle? That's a good point too, yeah. Oh, right, because it has the unidentified fingerprints. Duh.
Take that!
Yeah. I was overthinking. If you're going back to the station anyway, could you find out whose prints are on this?
Oh, hey, that's the small bottle I gave you back this morning, right?
Yeah. I think it's time we solve the last mystery of who the prints on it belong to.
Sure thing, pal. Actually, that's been gnawing at me, too.
Small bottle given to Detective Gumshoe.
Okay, I'll get this off to the lab right away. Just make sure you don't lose the case before I get back.
Yeah, for real. This is pretty much the final showdown, I guess. It's time to separate the phonies from the real guys. Hopefully. January 8th, 1:56 p.m. District Court, courtroom number 4.
Court will now reconvene. Mr. Godot, did you find this Furio Tigre?
I even tamed him for you. It was a 3-cup job. No problem. Tamed him? The guy's name may be Furio Tigre, but come on. He's pretty lively. Be careful. He still bites.
Very well. Please show Mr. Tigre to the stand. Witness. Please state your name and occupation for the...
Don't hide under the table, Maya. Unless there's room for me too down there.
What'd you say to me? No, nothing. I didn't say nothing, honest.
Who could have guessed that fear would induce a bad Brooklyn accent in the judge?
I got business to take care of, you hear me? Who the hell called me into this hole? Was it you, Spiky?
No, of course not. It was the judge. Your Honor?
Oh dear, I seem to have dropped my pen. Where on earth is it? Don't mind me. Just carry on with the proceedings as normal.
That's it. We're doomed.
Maybe you didn't hear me. I said, who the hell was it that called me in here?
There's no need to shout. We can all hear you.
What do you say?
There's no point struggling. You're caught in a snare. The relentless snare of the law. And I'm the one that hauled you in. Too cool. Don't let him get the better of you, Nick. Let's start with the basics. You know about the incident in question, correct?
Incident? I don't know nothing about no stinking incident, mask boy.
You mean you didn't attend the previous trial of Maggie Bird?
Maggie who? I got more important things to do than watch courtroom dramas. Of course. Well, Perhaps you could give us your testimony then. Please, tell us about what you did the day of the murder. Phoenix Wright. You's the one who set this up, didn't you? You's gonna regret the day you ruffled the tiger's fur. You hear what I'm saying?
Maybe I should have brought a diaper with me today. Get a grip, Nick. Oh, man.
I don't know nothing about no murder. I was tied up with business in December last year. Spent all of my time in the office. I got whales lined up to borrow cash from tender lender every single day. You just want to check my alibi? Just ask Violetta. Ah, at last, I found my pen. Very well then, Mr. Wright. You may cross-examine your... Arrgh! What is it? Please, witness, if you could refrain from shouting like that. I know the kind of games that you guys in the blue plays. That lowlife ain't no lawyer. He punches away at stupid details till he wins.
Lowlife? Me?
Listen up, smarty pants. Every time you ask me something that doesn't relate to this case, I'm gonna bill you $50,000. And you're gonna borrow the cash from me.
That's one loan contract I refuse to sign.
And don't think it ain't gonna hurt when you tangle with the tiger.
I love a good spectator sports.
Just a minute. That's really nuts.
The witness is, how can you put it? A hungry tiger roaming the urban jungle. Get on his bad side, and he'll bite everyone's heads off. Yours too.
Very well. I have no choice but to impose a penalty system here. You'd better be listening. I said I got business to take care of. Big business. If I don't split now, I ain't gonna catch my bus. The court will impose a penalty for any irrelevant pressing of witness testimony.
Ah, fuck. Damn it. Okay. Okay, we got this. We got this. Okay. Gotta lock in.
Keep in mind that you being your cross-examination. Keep in mind that as you begin your cross-examination, Mr. Wright.
Yes, Your Honor. You can do it, Nick. I'm out from under there already, would you, Maya? Okay. I don't know nothing about no murder. Tied up with business in December last year. Spent all of my time in the office. Alright, well, the only two that I feel like could have any relevance is when he mentions Violetta, because we have some info on her, and then obviously this one. So I'm gonna start here. Hold it! Okay. Are you sure about that? We're talking about 1 month ago, you know.
You see these teeth? That's how sharp my secretary is.
Sharp? Is he talking about Viola Cadavarini?
She writes everything in my schedule. December, mainly in the office. That's what it says, so that's where I was. That seems like a rather sketchy schedule.
There he goes again. What the tiger did all December isn't the issue. What's important is what he was doing on the day of the murder. So now what? God. Okay, wait, can I save? Okay. Alright, let's go. Let's go. Mr. Tigre!
What do you want?
If you wouldn't mind going into a bit more detail.
Objection!
This is a dead-end trite and you know it. Remember the rules.
Objection!
No! It's essential that we establish the witness's alibi accurately.
I agree.
The victim was killed on December 3rd. Were you in the office on that day too?
Maybe yous ain't listening. Of course I was. I never set foot outside. I had meetings all day with a bunch of cats wanting to do business with me. I ain't never seen that young kid before. I do believe the witness's last statement was important. Mr. Godot, if you could, please.
Mr. Tigre, the court asks you to add that last statement to your testimony. Don't let an animal beat you. Be a man, Your Honor, and ask him yourself.
The days you's talking about. I was in the office too. I never saw that kid before.
Okay. So obviously we know this isn't true, so this is one we can press on. Okay. Maybe I should just commit to this one, but I am curious. Part of me wants to, like... Can we prove that he was there, though? Oh, wait. Ah, ha 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 ha. Is this a mask to mask reference? I just realized. You probably gotta press first before evidence. That's fair. Yes, lol. That's awesome. That just hit me. Alright. Hold it! This isn't the one I wanted to press on. Old habits.
It's tough for the little guys these days. Small businesses are feeling the pinch. Bosses of companies like that want to get in good with me. I'm their best friend. I see. It's very admirable of you, witness. Yeah, well, then the lender's motto is win through compromise, you know? Win through compromise? What is that supposed to mean? Compromise the customer to win. That's what it means. You've got it?
I mean, that's the motto of every company in the US, so it sounds like a winning strategy. With best friends like you, who needs enemies?
Here, let me spell it out for yous all. You don't pay me back within 3 days, Spiky. Take what's due, and you stupid. This follows what I'm saying.
But I'm not one of your customers. No, I don't.
Now then, Mr. Tigre, would you mind repeating your testimony from the beginning, please? My time ain't free, you hear? You's better remember that. If I miss that bus, someone's gonna pay.
Hold it! By Violetta, you're talking about the Cadaverini families.
Yeah. You don't want to cross them, or he's gonna wind up sleeping with the fishes. Once the Godfather finds out you've been dragging Violetta through the mud, he'll do ya in.
Sorry, I couldn't quite put it all together towards the end there. He said that just like Viola, didn't he? I get the feeling this might not be the right time to probe him about her. Fair enough. Okay, so the first press is fine. Hold it! I don't buy that you haven't even heard of the incident that occurred at Trevienne.
You've got a big mouth, right? He's trying to say I was in some mob hit. Is that what you're trying to say? Where's your proof then?
Evidence? Yes, well...
For an attorney to make an accusation in court, he must have evidence. That's from the loan shark to lawyer, a beginner's guide, yeah? Ah, I see you're the studious type, Mr. Tigre. Very good.
Huh. Why don't you ask him to represent you sometime, trite? What should I do? Yeah, I feel like we can prove that he was there.
students. He never saw him before. I'll press harder on this one. See if that gets us anything. Let's see. Mr. Tigre, what do you wants? If you wouldn't mind going into a bit more detail.
Objection!
This is a dead end trite and you know it. Remember the rules. Well, so much for that. Okay. That's fine. Okay, so it's got to be something with this then. He never saw him before. Let's see. Caught up in business. Do I not have that letter anymore about the car repair? Let's see. Let me save real quick.
Objection!
Nope. Let's see. Oh wait. You never saw him before, but you had this in your office.
Objection!
What?
That's bull. That's some bull. I don't remember. Did we press on this one?
Hold it!
You didn't know Mr. Glenn Elg? Really? I don't mess with the guppies when they're big a fish to fry. Oh, maybe I forgot to press on this. What do you say, boss?
Who, me? How's about I hit you with a fat $200,000? Well, I was thinking about purchasing a nice car from Europe.
He's seriously considering this?
Wow, the Tiger's a really good salesman, huh?
Yeah, and if I want to sell this case, I need to copy him.
How about you hit him with a fat piece of evidence, boss?
I wish it was that easy. Oh, I know.
Objection!
That took me way too long to remember. Mr. Tigre, you claim you didn't know Mr. Glenn Elg, but it appears that Mr. Elg knew you.
What?
Mr. Elg left this little note on his calendar. Meet with the tiger. And the date? December 3rd.
December 3rd? That's the day of the murder.
So, Mr. Tiger, Tigre, I submit that you did indeed know one Mr. Glenn Elg. Because on the very day of the incident, you met with him. There we go.
Not bad. He's actually not bad.
Sorry?
I was just messing with you. See how good you were.
Sure you were. Did you hear that, Nick? He said you're not bad. And that's one compliment I can do without. Plus, he's lying through his teeth.
Witness, please remember that you're under oath. Lies will not be tolerated. You's calling me a liar. Is that what you's doing? Ruh-roh.
So you're saying that your claim to have never seen that kid before is the truth?
I said I'm dead serious. You better believe that's the truth.
Ha. Then I'd say that gives me time to enjoy another cup of pure black magic. That is, while you testify to the court again, Mr. Tigre.
Oh, yes. Would you mind indulging the court, witness?
He never actually met the victim. That's gotta be a lie right there. It's time I nailed this guy.
I ain't no liar. I never met Glenn Elg. There was some lame guy with that name, though. Wanted to borrow cash from me. Set up a meeting with the guy in my office, 10 to 11. Waited around for him, but he ain't ever showed. I ain't never been to that Trebien joint. He's here.
Now we can prove that we got him. I know exactly what to hit him with here.
I see. That all seems perfectly logical. You had arranged to meet with the victim, but he didn't show up.
I've heard it's pretty hard to keep appointments when you're dead.
Very well. You may begin your cross-examination, Mr. Bright.
Yes, Your Honor.
Didn't I tell you I got a big deal going down today? I ain't gonna make my bus now. I'm gonna have to take the express train. That bill's going straight to you, right? I ain't no liar. I never met Glenn.
Hold it! And yet, your name was written on the victim's calendar.
Get that horse calendar out of my face. I'm the tiger, not a lame horse, you porcupine. Tigers like me eat horses like that for breakfast. No. Witnesses aren't permitted to eat evidence. Not that they ever were. Well, there was a case once where a young lad ate...
Anyway, if you had never met the victim before, how do you explain this note he left?
There's some lame guy with a lame name, though. Wanted to borrow cash.
Excuse me. That's very strange. According to the manager of the firm where the victim worked, December 3rd was the date he had to repay his loan. He wasn't due to discuss borrowing money, but repaying what he owed.
Oh yeah, maybe he was right. Whatever it was going down at the beginning of December.
So did you meet Mr. Elg then?
Hey, right. Yous might want to cool your jets a sec. I set up a meeting with the guy in my office, 10 to 11.
So your meeting wasn't supposed to be at Trebien then?
Why would I want to go to a dump like that? If I'm going to talk with my clients, I got an office decked out for the job. I got the best punching bag yous ever saw in there.
Not exactly a professional office you've got there, you know. So, you were in your office on the day in question.
I waited around for him, but he ain't ever
Hold it! He didn't show up? Huh. What do you think, trite? Let's see. How does a dead man get from a French restaurant to a loan shark's office? And you yourself didn't go to Très Bien.
What are you trying to pin on me here? Why don't you come down to my office? We can chat about this thing my way, yeah? I got the best punching bag you ever saw.
No need. I'm good, thanks.
Listen up. I ain't got nothing more to say except this. I ain't ever been to that Très Bien joint. Is here.
Hold it! No. Never? Not even once?
Not even once. I was in my office the day that went down. I didn't put no poison in no kid's coffee. Capiche?
You think he really didn't meet Glen Elg? Not likely. Because I'm convinced this guy's behind the whole thing. So you mean that whole testimony he just gave was a lie? Of course. So we can't afford to give him time to think of ways to plug the leaks in it. I've got to nail him while I still can. Alright, let's go with this. Yes.
Objection!
Easy. That was an easy one. Mr. Tigre, is there something you'd like to tell the court about these matches?
Matches? What are you talking about?
We found them in your office at Tender Lender. They're from that restaurant.
Oh,
If you've really never been to Très Bien before, what was a book of the restaurant's matches doing on your desk?
you've been snooping around in my stuff now too, wise guy? What are you, my ball and chain? Ain't no broad controlling me. Order, order. Well, witness, I think it's time you started telling us the truth, don't you? Sorry, I'm terribly sorry. Forgive me. I ain't no pussycat. I don't go back on what I said. But, okay, I was at the joint that day.
What?
Well, listen good, all right? I might have been there, but I still never met that kid.
Well. Looks like an order just came in for another testimony. I'm this close to proving it was him. He did meet Glen Elg that day, and he did put poison in his coffee. He must have. Hell yeah. Cooking his ass now.
I was supposed to meet with the kid at the restaurant that afternoon. When I opened the door to the joint, I saw one ugly scene. Guy was laid out over the table, stiff as concrete. I figured if the place wasn't hot already, it was gonna be, so I split. Heard the cops' sirens on my way out, and I went straight back to my office. I see. You didn't actually meet with him in the end, then. Well, Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, please.
Yes, Your Honor.
Hold it. If I wait around here any longer, I ain't even gonna make the normal express. No more stupid questions.
No problem. Anytime Tripe presses you on something irrelevant, I'll see he pays a penalty.
Mr. Godot, that's my job.
Your job is to slam that little hammer of yours and call it guilty. So do it.
Yes, sir. Special Express ain't cheap, right? Just so yous know, since yous paying.
Oh, man. Doesn't the rule of law mean anything around here? All right, let's see. What do we...
I was supposed to meet with a kid at the restaurant that afternoon.
Let me save real quick. So, like, if I press on any of these, like, can I do this still? Let's see. So the meeting wasn't due to take place at Tender Lender at all then?
The kid was making a fuss about coming into the office. It's always that way when I want to talk about repayments. Even though I got the best punching bag you've ever seen. He's ever seen, if there are any issues.
Maybe it's because of the punching bag that people are scared to come. So that's why you decided to meet at Très Bien.
Objection!
Ha! You're going over old ground again, Trite. Sorry? You just earned yourself a penalty. Now suck it down.
You will suck down the penalty, Mr. Trite, and you will like it.
Damn. Thank you, sir. May I have another? All right, so yeah, we got to be calculated on our pressing. Got it. When I opened the door, I saw one ugly scene. Big in the place was. Okay. An ugly scene? What do you mean?
Objection!
God damn it. All right. You mean you saw Glenelg's dead body?
I guess I did, but I only saw it from behind. He was wearing some raggy bit of cloth he called a hat.
And what time was this? Also, was he wearing a hat? I guess so, yeah.
I don't know.
Huh?
You know what winds me up more than anything else in the world? Watches, round watches. I ain't gonna pollute my paws with some ticking henpecker. Out of interest, Mr. Tigre, what winds you up the second most? Huh? What do you think? Square watches.
Is this guy for real?
Look, all I needed to know was that something bad was going down in that place.
Interesting. So you didn't actually set foot inside the restaurant then?
The tiger is a busy cat. I don't hang around for no one. I ain't got time to be caught up in no murder investigation.
So when exactly did you pick up the matches? There are matches just inside the front door. Our detective friend wound up in trouble with the chef after taking 5 books home. Poor gumshoe. It's almost enough to make a man cry.
I heard the cop's sirens on my way out, and I went straight back to my office.
I'm impressed. I don't feel like I have anything. You went straight back? Did a bout of guilt suddenly hit you for what you did?
What are you trying to say? You trying to tell me yous ain't never been guilty of nothing?
We all have our crosses to bear. We all have to swallow the dark secrets we hide. Like this. The courtroom's not exactly the place to talk about dark secrets, is it?
It seems you've done it again, Mr. Bright. Another irrelevant line of questioning. I must impose a penalty accordingly.
How about a penalty for those 2 jokers and the garbage they keep coming up with? Well, Nick, what do you think? He's running out of ways to avoid the truth. I need to press him fast before he has time to think things through. I've got to come right back at him with a contradiction. So, it's got to be one of these 2 statements.
This feels like the only thing that could contradict it, though.
Objection! Hold it! Hold it!
Okay, what do we... Let's see, what can we present? Mhm. Maybe present the floor plans? Interesting. Oh, because he probably came in the back, right? Sure, let's give it a shot. Why not?
Objection!
You're something of a loan collecting pro, aren't you, Mr. Tigre? No one escapes the tiger's clutches. Well, I'm something of a lie detecting pro. And no one escapes the Phoenix's clutches. I think it's time we got something straight. What's this trite? A new line of irrelevant questioning? These are the floor plans of the crime scene. You say you were standing at the entrance, Mr. Tigre. From there, your field of vision would have been covered in an area something like this, and you wouldn't have seen it because of the... what do you call it? Facade.
Indeed. The witness would have had a clear view of the victim's seat. Isn't that what I just said? Saw the back of the kid's head.
Yeah. Unfortunately for you, that is not possible. If the court would think back, you'll remember that between each of the tables is a tall partition.
Why, that's true.
Now look at the plans again. The truth is painfully obvious. From the entrance, the field of vision of any customer walking in ends here. Got him. W. Kev, thank you for the assist. So, from the entrance of Très Bien, you couldn't have seen the victim's seat. But you did see the victim that day because you met with him.
Objection!
Wrong. Have you forgotten the old man's testimony yesterday? The victim was alone at his table.
Objection!
But the defense just proved that point to be moot. The victim, witnessed by Mr. Cadeau, was not Glen Elk, but a fake. What? In order to have Mr. Cadeau falsely testify, the real killer posed as the victim. The victim he had just killed and acted out a charade. You know, from the back, Mr. Tigre does look a bit more like Phoenix, but only from the back.
That will do. This trial has gone on long enough without the obvious question being answered. Who exactly was this real killer who impersonated the victim? You say the killer murdered Glen Elk.
He's way taller and older too. Oh yeah, he is a lot older. The height thing I didn't notice as much. Maybe I'll have to look for it in the wide shot again. But it may not be depicted canon, lower accurate.
And then impersonated his victim in a performance for Victor Kudo. In that case, Mr. Wright, reveal the identity of this criminal to the court.
Okay, so the person who helped him? I mean, I feel like it's got... feel like it's Viola? Okay, I'm gonna just go with Viola. Obviously, it's the person you least expect. What's the matter, Your Honor?
Oh, nothing. I just dropped my pen again. Don't mind me. Carry on with the proceedings as normal.
Oh, shit. Better think again while he's down there, Nick. Guess I should have picked the obvious choice.
Very good. I found my pen. Allow me to pose the question again. Say the killer murdered Glenn Elk, and he impersonated his victim in a performance game.
Okay. I mean, Bruto doesn't really make sense to me. It's not Basil. Dawn? I mean, I guess that's the only person who could have. But that doesn't make sense. Because then how could Sean have told them this guy to go call? It can't be Victor, not Gumshoe. Is it Glenn? Obviously, it's the person you least expect. Oh, fuck me. What's the matter, Your Honor? Me? What? Yeah. Very good. Oh, wait, are we just... We're saying who the murderer is. I don't know why my dumbass was thinking of trying to name the accomplice. Obviously, it's El Tigre, right? Yeah. Duh. I don't know what the hell what happened here. Some kind of crazy neuron misfire. I was holding back on saying it. Yeah. I was like, who could be the accomplice? It can't be any of these people. So like El Tigre was just not even registering. Obviously, yeah. Classic me, overthinking like a motherfucker. Okay, anyway. The killer is Furio Tigre. No one else could have done it.
What? Well, witness? Now that's cute. Yous thinks you can pin this on the tiger. Maybe yous don't understand. Tiger is king of the jungle. So I dares you to say it again. Come on, you got the guts. You can't threaten me, Mr. Tiger. It's the defense. Go ahead and tell the witness, Mr. Wright. Mr. Wright! Sounds to me like it must be you, old man. You've got guts, I'll give you that. Mr. Wright, do not leave me to handle this alone.
Perhaps I can end this embarrassment.
Mr. Godot.
Let's just go back over Mr. Godot's testimony one more time. Oh, ad break's starting. Appreciate y'all hanging tight. I'll see you in a few. The old man didn't just see the victim. Oh, no.
The serving girl brought him a Javachino, but she put something in it.
There's no question about it.
There's no question about it. She very conspicuously put some white powder in there.
Was the victim he saw the real victim or not? That doesn't matter. The fact remains, he saw the accused put the poison into the coffee. Here we go.
Yes, it was the waitress who poisoned
him. Very impressive, Mr. Godot. Waiting for my absence to launch your attack. Found your pen at last, trite. It was in my pocket. But anyway, Mr. Cadeau witnessed two people that day. He saw the victim, the supposed Mr. Glenn Elg, and the waitress from behind.
Yes, your point, Mr. Bright.
I think the conclusion is obvious. If this Glenn Elg really was the killer in disguise, then surely it's possible the waitress was also part of the show.
What? You mean the waitress was an imposter as well?
The defendant, Miss Bird, fell unconscious immediately after the incidents. And someone used her fainting to hatch an elaborate plan to pin the murder on her.
Who on earth was it?
Alright, this one I actually feel kind of confident about. Because I've been seeing the back of that head, I'm like, that is not the right haircut. It's gotta be.
Who is this woman?
Her name is Viola Cadaverini. Let me save. She's an employee of Tender Lender.
You's making a big mistake. You know who Violetta's grandfather is? You better be going home in an armored truck tonight if you know what I mean.
Stop shaking, Nick. Where was I? Yes, the defendant, Miss Bird, has stated the following. Well, when I took the coffee over to the victim's table, it's true there was another customer in the restaurant. She was sort of creepy. And she had a kind of cackling laugh. I forgot about that. Yeah, obviously it was her. There are just too many contradictions in this case. The second man at the victim's table, who nobody but Miss Bird seems to have seen. The earpiece worn by the victim in his left ear when that eardrum was ruptured. And the radio show he was supposedly listening to half an hour after it was over. There's only one logical explanation that clears up all of these contradictions. The whole incident took place twice, once for real and once for a show. And Mr. Furio Tigre, the only person who could have committed the crime, is you.
Witness, what have you got to say? That's cute. Sorry? You's all right. I could do with a guy like you around.
What do you mean?
Okay, I'm in on this game. I'm gonna have to charter a jet to get me to my meeting now. I'm gonna give you one more thing to think about before I go.
Something to think about?
You's got it all wrapped up nice, huh, Maurice? But you's missed out on one real important thing.
But that can't be.
I was in the joint that day, and I met that kid too. But I couldn't have poisoned him, you hear? What? Do you really expect us to believe you now, Mr. Tigre?
Huh. What a troublemaker. Troublemaker? Looks like we're gonna need another one for the road. One more steaming cup of hot testimony.
Indeed. Witness, you will explain yourself to the court. I will give you one more chance to testify. What happened that day at Trevian between yourself and the victim?
All right.
Yeah, I loaned out cash, about $100,000. That day we was due to have a little chat. The kid had hit his payback date, see? So anyways, he tells me he's got no way to pay up. I'm about to flatten the guy when he starts screaming.
Yes, I won $500,000.
He got lucky, you know, real lucky. If that waitress hadn't done what she done, everything would have been over. Now, I see that the principal amount you loaned Mr. Elg was $50,000. Yeah, well, he's got the vig to take into account. Interest builds up fast, you know?
That's faster than fast. $100,000 is twice his principal.
And the repayment deadline was December 3rd, the day of the incident in question.
Yeah, he was one lucky kid. He got that $500,000 just in time. So I ain't have no reason to kill the kid. And if I ain't got no motive, you ain't got no case. His motive? He has to have one. But what is it? Can I still not press? Probably not. That day we did have a little chat. Anyway, he tells me he got in the way to pick up. About to flatten the guy, and then he starts screaming. Yes, I'm gonna have $100. He got lucky. No, really. You could probably press anything important. Okay. Let me make a save. Because we are close to death. Yeah. So we gotta be careful. Hold on. Okay. But he says he loaned him 100,000, which is not true. He loaned him 50,000, which then turned to 100. We don't have evidence to press that. That day we were doing a little chat. We're gonna have a payback date. See. Hold it! The waitress? You mean the girl with the glasses in the defendant's chair? Who else could I mean? She hadn't gotten away. Things would have been bada bing, bada boom, over and done with. Maybe I should push a little on this. Ah, shit. Okay. Yeah, definitely. That felt like the safest one. What do you mean things would have been over and done with? I used all there or what? I'm talking about the cash. I was there to get my $100,000 back. That's all. I'm a businessman. It's all coming together before that waitress got in the way.
As far as I can tell from the witness's testimony, other than recouping his loan, Mr. Tigre had no motive for killing the victim. Witness, you will amend your testimony to reflect what you just said.
The tiger's motive, huh? I was after the 100,000. I didn't have no other reason to kill the guy. I can evidence for this? Okay. I do, yeah. Because I was thinking, so I'm thinking this because he took it, right? Like, he's got to have some interest in it. And we know it's very valuable. But that's really the only thing I can think of. So maybe I'm going to try that. Or he could have killed him to take the lottery ticket. That makes a lot more sense. It's got to be the ticket, right? It's got to be. Why take 100 grand when you could have 500, right?
Objection!
Yeah. What was I thinking? Alright, how things would have been. Oh, I didn't save after that. Gotta be the MC Bomber. Yeah, that's... At this point, that's the only other thing it can be, right? Let me save right here again, just to be safe. And then let's present the MC Bomber CD.
Objection!
Bam. Hell yeah. So you just intended to get back the $100,000, Mr. Elgodu, correct? Mr. Elgodu, correct? I loaned the guy cash, so that's my right. Unfortunately for Mr. Elg, I don't believe the $100,000 is what you were really after.
Objection!
What are you getting at, trite? What else would a moneylender be after other than money? Oh, the moneylender was after money, but money in a totally different league. The kind of money that a single disc like this would fetch.
What is that?
A computer virus, Your Honor. A virus called MC Bomber.
A computer virus? What does one of those do?
A computer virus is a program that wreaks havoc on the insides of a computer.
A computer? What does one of those do?
I guess the beard isn't the only part of His Honor that is part of the Stone Ages. I'll explain it to you later, Your Honor. Right now, this is the important points. A virus like MC Bomber would be worth several $1 million on the black market.
Several $1 million?
Lending money with no hope of ever seeing repayment would normally be bad for business. But in this case, the very fact that Glen Elg had no way to repay that money is crucial.
What?
Glen Elg was a programmer, a highly skilled programmer. That skill was the collateral Mr. Elg put up in order to borrow money.
Objection!
You're trying to suggest the witness's motive was to get hold of that program? Exactly. The witness may have poor fashion sense, but he is by no means an idiot trite. A man like him could get his hands on $1 million without resorting to murder. Of course he could, provided that he had time. But what if he had needed the money right then? When the pressure's on, the luxury of choice tends to disappear.
It seems you have a logical conclusion for this theory, Mr. Wright. Would you care to share it with us? Why did Mr. Tigre need money to the tune of $1 million?
Oh, this is an easy one too.
Take that!
In December of last year, you found yourself in need of a huge amount of money. About 6 months ago, you were involved in a traffic accident, weren't you? An accident involving a car and a scooter in which a young woman was injured. She was taken to the hospital where she underwent surgery.
How much of this do you know?
These medical papers document the treatment of the young woman in question. According to these, her operation cost $1 million. And yet, when the payment was due last month, you somehow managed to pay it in full.
$1 million? Preposterous. Someone should sue these HMOs.
No one would pay a bill like that. If the medical association got wind of it, the hospital would end up as dead as a morgue. But Mr. Tiger had no choice but to pay, because his very life depended on it. Yeah, he's definitely a lot taller than Phoenix.
Order! You say his life depended on it, Mr. Wright.
Indeed it did, simply because the injured woman was none other than Viola Cadaverini. Did you say Cadaverini? Bruno Cadaverini, mob boss in charge of all underworld activities in the city, and doting grandfather to his precious Violetta, also known as Viola Cadaverini. Your life was in danger unless you paid compensation to the boss, correct? It makes sense. You were desperate to acquire the $1 million Bruno Cadaverini demanded of you. So desperate, in fact, that you decided to sacrifice Glen Elg's life to pay your debt. Damn. On the day of the murder, Mr. Tigre's sole intention was to get his hands on the CD. Glen Elg had no way of paying back the $100,000, and Mr. Tigre knew it. But then a miracle happened. The kind that Mr. Tigre would prefer to say never happened, but he can't, and neither can I. The lottery win. Exactly! At the 11th hour, Mr. Elg won $500,000 on the lottery, which left Mr. Tigre no way of getting his hands on the all-important CD. At least, no legitimate way. so he resorted to illegitimate means. That's crazy. He murdered Glen Elg and then made his next move, to frame Maggie Bird for the crime. Mr. Tigre posed as Glen Elg, while Viola Cadavarini played the role of Miss Bird. And then they reenacted the whole thing in order to establish a witness. The witness being the one we all heard testify yesterday, Mr. Victor Trudeau. Like I said, Trite, that's crazy. No one could pull off a stunt like that. For starters, there's no way that the chef could have been kept in the dark.
Objection!
Well, Mr. Armstrong was in on it from the very beginning. Have you forgotten already, Mr. Godot? Mr. Armstrong owed the witness money too. $500,000, in fact. He had no choice but to go along with Mr. Tigre's plan. Got his ass.
Order! Order! Silence or I will. You put on a good show, Spiky. If you just want to stay alive in the loan shark business, you gotta be careful. You saying I dressed up like that kid, created a witness, and framed someone? If I did something crazy like that, I'd leave a trail as bright as my shirt. I ain't dumb enough to do something sloppy like that.
I agree.
You do?
Despite your appearance, you're very careful. That's why you took one more precaution. One more trick to make sure Miss Bird had no way out.
What? Another one, Mr. Right.
Interesting. Why don't you fill us all in, Trite? He pretended to be me. Oh shit, this is an important one.
Fuck.
Too late to see. I saw your reply literally right as I missed my opportunity. Oh man. All right. I feel confident about this though, okay? I feel fairly confident. I think we got this.
Take that!
What on earth is that? What an insult to think anyone could be fooled by such a childish imitation.
That's ironic. Yeah, exactly. Consider yourself insulted, Your Honor. Mr. Tigre, you didn't just pose as the victim on the day in question. A month ago, in this very court, you posed as me.
What?
Save it for the next choice. Great call. Good looking out. Good looking out. Appreciate that.
That's
The truth.
but the witness looks nothing like you, Mr. Wright. Although, now that I think about it, it was you, wasn't it? No doubt it was you, standing in here, this very court, a mere month ago. The Phoenix Wright who put up the most disreputable, shabby defense I had ever seen.
Objection!
Can you prove that, Gramps? Prove the attorney who represented the accused here a month ago was this man? Are you prepared to take the stand and testify that it was him?
Hey, forget about it, yeah? I wouldn't do something like that. Not me. You made a mistake, right? It was someone else, huh?
Objection!
Have you no pride, sir?
Objection!
This isn't a matter of pride. In case you didn't know, Trite, here in court, we deal with people's lives.
Mr. Godot is right.
Your Honor?
Speaking for myself, I am absolutely convinced. The attorney in question was the witness standing here before me now. However, I preside over this court as the judge, with the vested power to hand down a verdict. Someone in my position cannot be swayed by a memory without evidence to support it.
No!
And if the defense has no further evidence, the court will now excuse the witness. The circumstances surrounding Mr. Tigre are dubious for sure, but not conclusive.
But we've come so far.
You say he impersonated Glenelg. You say he impersonated you. But none of that adds up to a murder charge. You don't have a shred of evidence that the witness poisoned the victim's coffee.
Arr! Ah. Sucks to be you, right? Don't mess with the tiger, or you're gonna get mauled. You just got that?
All we managed to do here was chase him around a bit. I was so close to getting to admit his own guilt.
Ah. Looks like I won't be needing a refill.
If I just had one more piece of evidence. One more piece of evidence, and maybe I could get Maggie off the hook.
This witness's cross-examination is over. You are free to go, Mr. Tigre.
Damn.
Hey! I know who that is.
Your Honor, sir. Wait! Let's go! Detective.
Detective Gumshoe!
Sorry it took so long, pal. I staked everything on this. My badge, the works. But here it is. My heart's counting on this, too. What is it, Detective? Isn't it obvious, pal? It's the final decisive piece of evidence. What?
Let's go, Gumshoe! He's the only one I haven't drawn yet. I gotta draw him next. Well, I guess also mine, but of the boys, you know?
January 8th, 2:48 p.m. District Court, defendant lobby number 1.
Sorry it took so long, pal, but I finally got the results from the lab.
The results?
About the prints, pal, from this medicine bottle.
Oh, so do you know who the prints belong to now?
You think I'm some kind of hack detective? Of course I know.
So tell us. They're the tigers, right? I knew it.
I'm gonna say it because it's been a minute.
You bet. Clear as crystal, all over the bottle. They're Furio Tigre's paw prints, all right.
That's great. We've got him now, Nick. What's wrong with you? You've hardly said a word since Detective Gumshoe got here. He's laid everything on the line for this, Nick.
I know. Look, I'm sorry. This is kind of hard to say, but it really doesn't make any difference whose prints are on the bottle now.
Huh? What? Why not?
What we need to produce at this stage in the trial is irrefutable evidence that the tiger put poison in Glenelg's coffee. He's already admitted that he met the victim. The fact that his prints are on this bottle really doesn't make any difference now.
Damn. I knew it. Great. No matter how hard I try, I'm never of any use.
Hey, don't be so hard on yourself.
This was our last chance to help Maggie. I've been working on some useless piece of evidence the whole time. It's all right. I'm a real loser. It's not breaking news to me, pal.
Damn.
If Gumshoe came earlier, it might have helped. Maybe, yeah, maybe.
Detective Gumshoe? Maggie? You've been working on something for me?
Sorry I let you down, Maggie. I know you didn't do it. And I'm a detective. We're supposed to be able to prove stuff like that. I'm real sorry. I'll get you out of this.
Detective Gumshoe, wait!
He's gone.
Isn't there anything we can do now, Nick?
I wish there was. Gumshoe worked so hard to get that evidence. If only there was some way I could use it. January 8th, 3:04 p.m. District Court, courtroom number 4.
Mr. Right.
Yes, Your Honor. We definitely have to use and present it. How we make it work is up for debate. Also safe. Good call, good call. Yeah, it's definitely got to be the missing piece somehow. The question is how, not what. Yes, Your Honor.
I granted you a recess so you could prepare this decisive evidence you've discovered.
Yes. Don't keep us all in suspense, Trite. Show us. Naturally. We can assume it's evidence that will actually stand up in court, can't we? Think, Phoenix. Don't let Gumshoe's hard work go to waste.
How much more of my time are you gonna waste? I ain't been to no court before. These lawyers sure know how to blow things out of proportion. No doubt, given the nature of this evidence, it will speak for itself. Nevertheless, you will talk us through it, Mr. Wright.
Well, I know I can't prove anything new with this evidence. I'm really backed into a corner here. But maybe if he thinks he's got me beat, he'll let his guard down a bit.
Don't keep us waiting any longer, Mr. Wright. Present this final, decisive piece of evidence to the court.
It's the only thing, right? This is the defense's final piece of evidence.
Isn't that the victims?
Your Honor, naturally, the court is already aware of the contents in this bottle. However, interesting new information has come to light. We have clearly identified some fingerprints on it. Fingerprints belonging to you, Mr. Tigre.
What? But, Mr. Wright, what conclusion are you hoping to draw from this new information?
Everyone in here knows what this bottle contains, except one man. One person in this courtroom should be theoretically in the dark.
My print's on that pansy-looking bottle? Is that what you saying? Well, what the hell's in it anyway?
Phony trial, a phony lawyer, and a phony clues. Everything about this case has been phony. Seems like the perfect excuse for some phony evidence. I see. Mr. Tigre, this is the decisive piece of evidence that will prove your guilt. Why? Because it contains... I can just lie, right? Let's lie. This bottle contains potassium cyanide.
Potassium cyanide?
The poison used to murder Mr. L, Your Honor. The victim's killer used this very bottle. And on this bottle, Mr. Tigre, we found your fingerprints. Well, how do you explain that?
You'd make a good clown, you know that?
What?
Yous ain't never gonna get this to stick. You're just making me laugh now. You think a cheap bluff like that's gonna fool the tiger?
A bluff?
I can see straight through you, Phoenix Wright. That ain't the bottle with the cyanide in it.
No, this is the bottle we found traces of poison.
Don't mess with the tiger, or you're gonna get ripped to shreds. The cyanide bottle was brown, and it was made of glass. That cheap piece of trash don't look nothing like it.
Interesting. How do you know what the cyanide bottle looks like? Yeah, exactly. And how do you know that? That's really smart, for sure, for sure. Because, like, obviously the tiger is not an idiot. So Phoenix basically used the dude's own intelligence against him. It's smart. Got him at last.
What? Why's everyone gone quiet? Said that bottle.
Is this the bottle you're referring to?
Yeah, that's it. That's the bottle the cyanide was in. But yous ain't gonna find my prints on that bottle. Don't let that cozy-looking suit fool you people. That lawyer's just playing games.
I mean, true.
Tell him, Mr. Prosecutor. Tell that guy where to go.
You still haven't figured it out? Don't you realize what you just said?
What I said? What did I just say?
You were summoned to this court for the first time earlier today. If you really had nothing to do with the murder, you shouldn't have known all the little details. For instance, you shouldn't have known what kind of bottle the potassium cyanide was in. But just now you slipped up in front of every single person in this courtroom. You described the exact bottle used by the killer to hold the poison.
Yous don't know who yous messing with. I'm the Tiger. I control millions of dollars on the black market. You think I'm gonna let some jumped-up suit get the better of me?
Sure, the last piece of evidence was phony. But that's just what you deserve. The phony trial with the phony lawyer. It was all played out by you, the biggest phony of all. I ain't even gonna try. Load my voice the fuck out trying that. Bro knocked out the lights?
Oh, what's going on?
It looks like a blackout. Well done, trite. Excuse me. I saved my 17th cup of coffee just for you. Savor it. While you watch the police restrain your prey. We did it then?
Hell yeah! Mr. Right. You caught a tiger by his toe. But if this one hollers, he won't be let go. Now then, how are things going with Mr. Tigre, Mr. Godot?
He's being arrested on suspicion of murder of Glen Elk, Your Honor.
Fortunately for us, we managed to rectify a very grave error. Miss Bird was found guilty in the absence of a genuine defense attorney.
Yes, she was. And in the absence of genuine evidence. But the tiger made one mistake.
Indeed. He very nearly got away with everything if it wasn't for that one slip of the tongue. Mario Tigre is a truly frightening criminal.
Ah. The truly frightening one is that defense attorney. Godot. Yeah, surprising praise from Godot.
Well, I am now in a position to deliver my verdict. This court finds the defendant Maggie Bird
not guilty. Let's go. Hell yeah. That was a fun case.
That is all. This court is adjourned.
Yeah, that's definitely one of my favorite cases so far. I'm a sucker for good characters, and this had loads of awesome characters. January 8th, 4:10 p.m. District Court Defendant Lobby Number 1. Also, we got a lot of gumshoe, and I love when we get a gumshoe-heavy case. Mr. Wright, I'm at a loss for words. Thank you, sir. Congratulations, Maggie. I was so mad when Mr. Wright landed me in all that trouble a month ago. And now I feel like I can forgive him. Hey, that wasn't me, Maggie. That was the tiger. Look, Nick, in the doorway. Detective Gumshoe.
Oh, guess I'll be heading off then. See you later.
Well, wait. Mind you, this was supposed to be an Ace Attorney case too, but got removed. Glad it got brought back for Fake Phoenix alone. Yeah, This was a great case. It would have been a shame if it never saw the light of day. Like, seriously. What a like missed opportunity that would have been. Detective Gumshoe.
Oh, yeah. Congratulations, Maggie.
Thanks.
I knew you were innocent all along.
Why didn't you say that in your testimony then?
Huh? Oh, well, I was, well, guess I'll be headed off then. See you around.
Wait up, detective. He just ran off. Maggie, why are you being so hard on him? He busted his butt for you. It's thanks to him that we got the medication bottle. That wasn't even of any use. But it's only because Mr. Wright used it so cleverly. Detective Gumshoe was just running around in circles. Poor guy. Looks like she still isn't ready to forgive him. Can you put in a good word for him, Nick? Yeah, Maya is right. I should help Gumshoe out. Clear he needs it. Maggie, you know, Detective Gumshoe's been really worried about you through all of this. I wanted to believe that, sir. But on the first day of the trial, he practically gave the judge a free pass to lock me up. He didn't have any choice, Maggie. He's a detective. He has to report the facts. He doubted me. That's why. He thought I might have done it. I've got to prove to her that Gumshoe really cares about her. I know. I'll give her a little present to celebrate her freedom. I mean, this is an easy one. I mean, come on. Take that! Here you are. A present to celebrate your freedom. But that's a present from Detective Gumshoe, made with a ton of love. He said you lost weight and he was worried about you. Detective Gumshoe? I actually really like weenies, you know. Did you guys hear that? Pretty hungry myself, you know. Yeah, the trial dragged on a bit today, didn't it? Is it okay if we eat this now? If I eat this now? How sweet. So, how is it, Maggie? It's really good. How cute. So the case of the phony versus the genuine comes to an end. The false allegations surrounding Maggie have all been cleared up. And who knows? Maybe a whole new chapter of her life is about to start. And that's case 3. Overall thoughts? Yeah, like I said, this is probably one of my favorites so far, just because I absolutely love case like when they have goofy characters. Those are always the most fun cases, and this had heaps of that, as well as heaps of Gumshoe, and that's my favorite parts of this game. I also felt like the mystery was pretty good. It was one of the easier mysteries, I feel like, but it was still a lot of fun. And yeah, I love it. It was a great case. This will probably be pretty high on my rankings. Fair, yeah. Save my progress, yes. Made pretty good time on this case too. Case 4 and 5 is where shit goes down. Yeah, we'll see the preview of case 4 here in a sec, and then we're gonna knock that out tomorrow. However long that takes. Since you said it's pretty short, we'll just do it in one stream. And then case 5 will be next week. Exciting. Yeah. I also got a I finished my 2 to 3 hours, I'd say. You'll see. Yeah, that's perfect, man. I finished my Edgeworth drawing. You'll see in a little bit. So we got to get a Gumshoe one, and then I want to do a Phoenix like objection panel for like a BRB screen. Damn. Damn. Nix is in the hospital. Reading through the. Oh, interesting. Oh. Wait, Mia's first case was a year before they met, and then she was taking him on as a mentor after only working for a year? That's... I mean, I guess she was a prodigy, but damn. All right. I guess we'll get to learn some more about Mia. Oh, we're really gonna learn about Mia. Interesting. That's fun. I'm excited for this now. All right. Yeah, another flashback case. That'll be a lot of fun. I'm excited about that. I had a lot of fun with the last one. Sure, this will be good. Go. Let me see. There we go. But yeah, I'm excited to get into this then. The last flashback case was really good. A really good one. Cool, cool, cool. So I'm excited to see how this one squares up. I'm sure it'll be awesome. But all that said, I had a lot of fun with this case. I hope you did too. I'll see you next time, and I'll send you off with some new art, a little Edgeworth. Yeah, I'll see you next time. Have a great rest of your day. Peace.
There's something wrong with me, I keep getting in my own way. Pressure is pushing me to cave in and be lonely, but I don't really wanna be content with misery. The apathy that's seeping in is slowly killing me. Cause I don't wanna be here, I don't wanna be stuck doing the same damn thing and never giving a fuck. I don't wanna give in to the voice telling me that I will always be the same and I will never break. Wake up, everything was so wrong. I'm singing the same song I was singing this time last year. So far, shit's been getting so hard. Maxing out my damn car, trying to get a day of rest here. I'm still hoping that I'll wake up golden, got my mindset focused on a future that is brighter. Last year, I was sitting right here, swearing off the same fears, keeping me from my desires. I'm trying to catch up to the world, but I'm just losing time. It's changing faster than I'd ever hope to heal my mind. Apocalypses, no consensus has me stressing out. Cause every year we never change despite our future's doubt. Cause I don't wanna be here, I don't wanna be stuck doing the same damn thing and never giving a fuck. I don't wanna give in to the powers that be. I wanna make a fucking change for something bigger than me. Wake up, everything was so wrong. I'm singing the same song I was singing this time last year. So far, shit's been getting so hard. Maxing out my damn car, trying to get a day of rest here. I'm still hoping that I'll wake up golden, got my mindset focused on a future that is brighter. Last year, I was sitting right here, swearing off the same fears, keeping me from my desires. Wake up, everything goes so wrong. I'm singing the same song I was singing this time last year. So far, shit's been getting so hard. Maxing out my damn car, trying to get a day of rest here. I'm still hoping that I'll wake up golden, got my mindset focused on a future that is brighter. Last year, I was sitting right here, swearing off the same fear,